Okay, so I'm back. Um, I know it's been a month. I was just looking back on my first two videos and reflecting on them and thinking about um, what's kind of taken place between then and now. And I'm not sure where I want to go yet for this video, but I want to keep persisting. Um, I had a conversation with a friend last night that sparked something in me. Um, One thing I'm thinking about is mourning. Um, Mourning with a U, meaning, like processing sorrow is one way to put it, you know. Um, it's something I think that might be needed right now. And it's hard to do, in the wake of a lot of isolation that we've dealt with culturally. Um, it's an interesting thing, right? Because we've dealt with isolation together. It's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? It's like the very idea of isolation is to be alone. But it's like almost as if everybody has experienced aloneness together. And that's hard. That's hard. But again, it can be a unifier, it can be a bridge. And I think if we can create spaces to mourn together, that's tough, like to get out of self-preservation mode to where you actually feel safe enough to really open up. And maybe people are doing this right now. It's hard to say. I started driving with Lyft recently, and that's been really good. It allows me to get out and, I give people rides through rideshare. It's like the new form of taxiing. I don't know why I'm explaining it. I'm sure most people know what it is, um, but it's kind of cool. You get into the world of other people for a brief moment in time, 10, 15 minutes, wherever you pick them up to wherever you drop them off. You get to share a little mini communion with them. Sometimes it's quieter, sometimes it's more stimulating and conversational. But no matter what, it's a little bit of a shared journey, and that's indicative of what I'm wanting to do with this channel, with my life. It's the beginning pieces, the beginning remnants, even if they start as fragments. It's the beginning pieces of a puzzle, of something more whole and something more complete. And so it's helped to soften my heart and to grow in empathy for others at a time where it's really easy to be isolated, to feel anxious, um, to feel a lot of pain or confusion or even just emptiness, the lack of feeling anything at all, apathy. You know, I was talking with my friend yesterday, and we were talking about how today's landscape feels a little bit like a wasteland. And I don't mean that negatively. I don't say that with a I don't say that with a negative lens or a resentful spirit whatsoever. It's more just being able to look clearly at the landscape in front of us. And it seems to me that the current landscape is a bit of a wasteland, just barren. And how do you move forward? How do you grow? How do you reclaim spirit in the midst of a wasteland, in let's say a desert? And that's really a good question to ask right now. Even just asking that question can spark something in the heart, it can stir something up. And so, now's a time where it can be easy to perform, to just go through the motions, to anxiously make it through your interactions with others throughout the day. But if you're able, and if you're willing, maybe now's a time where we can open up and maybe find new opportunity within the interactions we have with others. Maybe find new creative outlets for connecting with one another. Because connecting with each other, not in performance, not in, it may come out anxiously, and that's okay if it does, but not for the sake of, panicked interactions, which I know that can be really easy. It's sometimes, what do you call it? Sometimes it's inevitable for that to happen, which is okay. But I think that what we're in need of right now in our culture is really a rejuvenation of spirit, and to respawn a culture, to respawn a people back into not just something that once was, but something so much more, something that could be. And I think that even if it is a wasteland we're in now, maybe wasteland isn't the best term, because maybe it's more like a blank canvas, a space where it may feel barren for now, but there's space for growth. There's space for planting new seeds and growing a garden, even in the middle of the desert. And the hard part about that is hope, because that means daring to hope again, and daring to believe that even if it might hurt, and even if it might not bring any harvest, I'm going to plant my seed anyway. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to water it, not knowing if a sprout will grow. So what does that look like? What does that look like in our everyday lives? What does that look like in your everyday interactions? How you spend your time, how you speak to others, what you seek, what you're open to and what you're closed to, They're not obvious answers, but they're good questions. They're really good questions. So I hope by thinking about these things and by letting questions like this stir in the heart, that it can start to spawn something new in our hearts, something new in our lives, something new in our community, something new in who we are. So yeah, I'm never good at putting a bow on these videos, because it makes sense, doesn't it? Because I think as a people, we're seeking something that hasn't yet come, but we still ought to seek it. And so that's my encouragement, is let's seek something that might be dormant within us, something that might feel far off. And see what grows from it, you know. So hopefully we'll continue forth with this, and I'll keep making videos, and I can feel something coming. And so I want to keep making videos and keep talking and sharing what I see. And if anyone happens to watch this, if you happen to watch this, which obviously you are, if you're hearing this, feel free to share your own heart. Feel free to open up and share what's going on in your life. Even if it's just me that reads your comment or listens to what you have to say. I'm a listener. I'll listen. So I guess that's it for now. All right.